Thank you. Thank you very much for your kind introduction. Venerable members of Sangha, religious leaders, distinguished scholars, and ladies and gentlemen, my name is Soon-il Hwang, and I'm from Dongguk University, Seoul, South Korea. I'm great honor to be able to give a talk here in carefully prepared conference hall, especially thinking the title, I'm going to talk about it. So I was asked to prepare a talk about Buddhist way of dealing with the world environmental crisis. So I prepare a talk about Buddhist ecology. Patricia already briefly mentioned about Buddhist ecology as well as interconnectedness. So today I'm going to explain what kind of thing we Buddhists talk about interconnectedness, what kind of ecology Buddhists aiming at. So, and then I will try to show you one example occur in South Korea where Buddhist simple ecological activity unite all the religion together, made a big voice against the development center, the Korean government today. So ecology is a Greek word meaning oikos, meaning the home. The study of a relationship among living organisms, including human and their physical environment, that was ecology. Buddhists has shown their deep concern on ecological issues. In the contemporary world, Buddhists are often regarded as some of the most active and engaged environmentalists in the religious world. There are simple ecological terms within the Buddhism, maybe non-killing, loving kindness, and compassion. But today, I talk more about dependent origination, pratitya samutpada, which is a basic philosophical basement for Buddhist ecological thinking. So Buddhist dependent origination demonstrate that their ecological concern are outcome of their doctrinal as well as philosophical thought. So dependent origination is about all sentient beings are reborn again and again according to Buddhism. Their fate are determined not by chance, but by principle of dependent origination. So very famous tanka showing the sixth realm of endless rivers we can see. All those areas Buddhists regard as a home. So we are not just a human. Sometimes we will going down as an animal. Sometimes we can go up as a heavenly figures. But we all regard every those places as a home, and we are going to use it together with all kind of creatures. And the principle which determine how we are going to reborn according to Buddhism is a dependent origination, which in Sanskrit pratitya samutpada. And pratitya means having depended or conditioned, and the samutpada means arising or production or something like that. So dependent origination is a typical translation. In Buddhism, we have two kinds of dependent origination. In natural order and reverse order. According to natural order, all sort of the problem occurs. According to the reverse order, all sort of problem disappear. So 12 link of dependent origination we Buddhists talk about, from the past and present and future, how we can remove all kind of suffering, and at the end we overcome, old age and death. But today I talk about the principle of dependent origination. We said imasmin sati idam hoti, imasa upada idam upajati, imasmin asati idam ahota nahoti, imasa nirodha idam nirujati. So if I may translate it, for the natural order, imasmin sati idam hoti, imasa upada idam upajati. In English, when there is a, there is a B. From the arising of A, there is a B arises. It looks as if the same thing the Buddha is actually talking again, kind of a repeated sentence. But according to the careful, analysis on the syntax, we can actually recognize that the first one is a causation based on logical relation or synchronic relations. And later one is a linear or diachronic relation. So synchronic causation is a contextual aspect of a causal relationship, and static condition must be present to enable to causal relationship involved. It must mean that here, according to the Pali grammar, it's a locative absolutive, which is kind of a logical causation, not the physical, actual causation occur in the world of physics or chemist. So when I give you the example of a scale, when this right side is going down and left side is going up, can we say going down is first and going up is second? It's not possible. Or this one, right side going down, left side going up. You cannot say this is happen, according to the time difference. All occur at the same time. And that's the synchronical causation the Buddha talked about in the first condition. When we think about Chinese term for people two people depending on each other. In early Buddhist canon, two sticks depending on each other. When one stick disappears, the other one collapses. Or the other stick disappears, another one collapses. So something like that, they depended on each other, but one is a collapse, the other one is collapsing. Or the other one collapse, another one is collapsing. This is a kind of a synchronic relation. So we usually call it as mutually dependent on each other. So in the home, as a kind of a realm we are living in, we are sharing all kind of resources together with all sorts of living creatures. So if we monopolize everything, the other one cannot have anything to use it. When they collapse, we collapse as well. So this is a kind of a causation Buddhist value very high. The other one, diachronical collapse causation, is more like ordinary causation we are talking about. Imasa upada idam upajati. When something occur, the other thing occur. So just like a billiard, white ball hit the red ball, then red ball moving. So there is a time difference in between cause and result. It is used in physics and science, to make our material world developed like that. But according to Buddhist Abhidharma, Buddhists carefully analyze the cause and conditions. According to the Abhidhamma Kosha Bhasha of Vasubandhu, we have 6 causes and 4 conditions. And among them, diachronical causation is just one. And all the other thing is about the synchronic causation. The only one is called the samantara pratyaya, immediately proceeding condition. That's the only one Buddhists talk about it. So Buddhist value very high on dependent origination in synchronical manner. So when this idea getting developed in the East Asia, Korean Buddhism in the old days prefer Avatamsaka or Huayan school, and according to Huayan school, they talk about Indra's net, Indrajala. It consists as having a multiplicated jewel at each vertex, each jewel reflecting in all around the other jewels. So image of Indranet is used to describe interconnectedness and the perfect infusion of all phenomena in the universe in the East Asian Mahayana Buddhism. So you can do it very simply in an elevator. When the mirror are facing each other, you can make infinite reflection like that. just one object reflecting everywhere. Or room carefully made for the reflection, we can make infinite reflections. During the Tang Dynasty in China, Huaiyan Master Pajang, who were master of Avatamsaka or Huaiyan school, actually build mirror room using 3 or 4 mirrors. He put just one Buddha statue, but according to the reflection between the mirror, he made the infinite number of mirrors. And in Huaiyan, this kind of infinite reflection is called Indrajala or Indra's net. As you can see here, each jewel reflecting each other. So the whole world can be seen in just one jewel. And also in just one jewel, you can see the whole world, according to here. So if you go to Chaoyang in northern part of the China, when Lao people build their own big Buddhist stupa, they are the believer of a Huaiyan school. And this stupa is according to the Huaiyan ideology. As you can see, there is a big stupa. Inside of the panel, there is another stupa as well. And inside of this small stupa, another stupa as well. So it actually shows infinite reflection, as mentioned in Huaiyan school. According to Huaiyan, this kind of infinite reflection is sometimes explained as one indeed is all, and the all indeed is one. 일즉 다, 다즉 일 in Korean pronunciation. This idea developed in India together with the Vedanta school of Hindu philosophy. It became unity in multiplicity, or multiplicity in unity in Vedanta school. So when we think about Indonesia, Indonesia consists of so many different people. Once I gave a lecture on Gajah Mada University in Yogyakarta. 30 people gathered together, and 10 different races actually coming together. So we all talk about the Bhinneka Tunggal Ika, which means unity in diversity. So Indonesia, even though consists of many different, people or culture, as a country, it's a unity. They can keep it. So that's the idea actually developed during the kingdom of Majapahit. So we saw some, Hindu Buddhist text where the Buddha fighting with the god Shiva, some siege appear, and he said the Bhinneka Tunggal Ika. Even though the Buddha and Shiva looks different, they are, they have a unity in terms of humanity and so on. So this idea, when we expand it, not only among the human beings, but also among the all sentient beings, not only among the Buddhists, but also among the all different religions, we can all be united as one. So in Korea, no time here, so I just skip. In Korea, about 10 or 20 years ago, Korean government tried to build a bank throughout the ocean to make agricultural field bigger. It is called the Saemangum project. And according to the Buddhist idea, inside of that bank there are lots of mud and living creatures living there, and they all die because of that. So somehow Buddhist or some Catholic or some Protestant concerned about the living creatures dying inside of that bank. So you can see here cells and everything is about to going up and down. So Buddhists made a movement initiated against the Saemangum development project. It will harm so many living beings living in the mud flood. it will also harm nature inside of a seaworld due to the pollution as well. So monk Sugyong, one of the very famous Buddhist environmentalist there, he adopted a Tibetan way of doing 3-step and 1 bow from Saemangam to Seoul, which means 320 kilometer journey. They actually move from 65 days. They start as a humble beginning, only 3 or 4 Buddhist monks and some activists, but it ended up with 8,000 people, together with the Catholic and Protestant and Buddhist all together, show the big voice against, development-oriented Korean government. So this is the initial stage. Monk Sugyong and Catholic priest, they are determined to make a voice. And then, when they start to have a 3-step 1 bows, people coming here and gather together and joining the line. And you can see here Catholic nuns and the 1 Buddhist nuns and the Buddhist monk, they all, try to make their voice together. And getting bigger and bigger and bigger. At the end, it became 8,000 people. I remember when I was, this one happened, I was a university student. I actually went there to try to do something as a team, So in this occasion, not only among the Buddhists, but also among all sorts of other religious leaders, together with the Korean general public, we made a voice against, kind of a development which is harming to living creatures. Simple Buddhist movement according to Buddhist ecology to show we are living in this world as a home. We share together with all other creatures as a home. So we are different according to our birth, according to Buddhism, but we are the unite. It means unity in diversity. Bineka o Tunggal Ika o il적다 다적일. One indeed is all, and all indeed is one. So the simple idea gathered together in this occasion made a big voice. And the Korean government eventually changed their policy on Saemangam project. So this is one of the example to show Buddhist ecological activity unite all the religion together and all the people together and also all the living creatures together to make the world better, to live all the living beings, share each other. Thank you very much.